Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 131. Where do we go from here? Um, where do we go from here? What we're going to be talking about is how we plan on finishing out 2023 with in the hobby. So that's gonna be the gist of it tonight. Tonight we've got, of course, me, and we got Mr. Reese. McMurray is out of town doing something. I don't know what that something is. Like I said, I hope he has fun and it's not something boring like going to a wedding or something. I didn't say boring in the text. I actually said something stupid. Literally, I said something. I hope it's not something stupid like going to a wedding, because it always seems like whenever something comes up, gaming related, he has to go to a damned wedding.
I've got to go to a wedding Wiley War Games weekend.
Boo, boo, sir.
Yeah, he's one of my best friends. I'll go.
That's okay. Nangoya came in early with a thumbs up at 6:06. Telemachus is here. Greetings, all. Charles says, hi, everyone. Hizzy Cat comes in and says, hey, hi, everyone. Heading out. Wanted to say hi. Have fun tonight, buddy. And my brother says, all Battletech all the time. He and Todd have been bitten by the Battletech bug hardcore. So, yeah. Let's see. Richard Keenan says hello. Hello, Richard. Thank you for joining us. So, as you know, we start off each week with what's going on at Wiley because, well, they give me stuff. And so I'm going to tell you about the stuff that is going on over there. It is core rules are for sale. It looks like the core rules, the generic card set, and bigger battles are all 15% off, automatic. Don't have to put in a code or anything. Put it in the basket, buy it, you get the discount off, 15%. The core rules, if you don't already have them, probably the best place to start. For the simple fact that you don't need anything else. And Jay Wiley will tell you, you don't need anything else to play with all your different toys. If you've got a good enough imagination, you can make it work. If I'm not mistaken, Reese just uses the core rules for his gaming with
Mostly.
Vietnam.
I occasionally throw the vehicle rules from Galactic Heroes in, but it's core.
Yeah. So, if you're not already doing bigger battles or have the core rules, now's a great time to do it. 15% off, and you can get the generic cards. They look like just a regular card deck. They're not illustrated in any type of theme, but they do have all of the specials on there. So, great way to get it. You can even buy it as a PDF and print them yourselves, and you can get 15% off that as well. So, now's a great time to do it. So that's where we are with that. So, what have we been doing, and what are we going to be doing moving forward? So, Mr. Reese, what have you been up to?
Mostly Vietnam right now. I have branched out a little bit further just in the past couple months, working on my 135th scale PBR. Let me turn this light off and focus. And I'm in the dark right now. It'll come back. 135th scale PBR. Got a seal support craft done in 135th scale. There we go. A light came back on. so I can drop guys off. Got another one of those in the works. I've got for the Warm Mutt Painting Challenge, the War
A
Mutt
mutt.
and Master Box's wonderful expansion set to it.
Nice.
So that will be my War Mutt for the Painting Challenge. So that's where I'm at right now.
Well, so you've got your mutt. I too
I'm still big.
have a mutt. What's that?
I said I'm still big.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I too have a mutt. Just very much more smaller.
Yeah, that's definitely your scale, not mine.
My brother picked up a load of 1/600 scale stuff for me at a one of the local game shops that was having like a garage sale type thing. It's got I got a pack of M1 M151 mutts, M151 mutts with toes. I got a bag of M113 A1s with some infantry with them. Got and I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but hey, I got them. I got some T30 T36s, Soviet T36s, M106 and 125s, the M113 mortar carriers, and then just a crap ton of helicopters and a couple of jets. I got two F-16s, two MiG-21s, and then just a passel of various helicopters, Chinooks, Iroquois, Blackhawks, etc., and so forth. I even got some 6mm insurgents and donkeys, literal donkeys.
You need to put that donkey on your Chinook.
Yeah. So Panthers have said it's okay when your pile fits in a matchbox. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Well, and we're gonna talk about this shame pile
Conveniently
because
cover my shame pile.
corner. Yeah, right.
No, it's a full.
Pay no attention to anything else in this room.
It's a full wraparound.
So, speaking of shame pile, so I finally sat down and figured out exactly what I needed for my 49th Armored Division project. It's a lot. So 49th Armored Division, Texas National Guard, circa 1985, up through not like 1989. I'm going to need 289 M113s. I'm going to need 84 M113s with the tow. And that's just the standard M113 with a single tube. I'm going to need 360 M60A1s. 49 M106 four-deuce mortar carriers, 2,725 M125 81mm mortar carrier, and 30 M901 ITVs.
Are you single basing these?
What's that?
You're single basing these, right?
Well, yes and no. So the plan is to make platoon bases, but have them be individually, each model individually removed from the base.
That's ingenious.
I got the idea from my buddy Chris Copeland. He has done that with his 15 millimeter figures. Now he uses they're Finnigs, which are German Euro cents, pennies, and they've got iron in them, so they're metallic, or not metallic. Of course, they're metallic. They're magnetic. And so what he's done is he's taken about a 35 millimeter round base and made the base look good with, flock and whatnot, and then put magnets on the base, and then he's based the 15 millimeter dudes on the Finnigs, based them with similar looking material, and then puts them on, and they're magnetically in spots. So I'm going to do the same thing with my little 3 millimeter guys. And what I'm going to do there is I'm going to get Litgo makes 30 or 32 millimeter hex bases. And the reason I'm going to use a hex base is because I want to be able to say have a front and a rear for firing arcs. And it's a lot easier to do that on a hex than it is on, something round. And so like a platoon of M60s will have 5 magnets on it. And I will just get, there's steel, you can get steel discs for fairly inexpensive amount. And that's what I will use instead of the Finnigs. Meandering Mike is in the house saying, greetings, y'all. Just got back from filming in the man cave of madness. Outstanding. And Scala Gremlin says, hi, all. Hi, howdy, Scala. So yeah, they're platoon based, but I will be able to remove the combat ineffective vehicles as they come off. Gamers with Coffee's in the house. He says, evening. Hey, Greg, how you doing, buddy?
So that hex base that you were talking about will fit my hex grid on my game mats perfectly.
There you go.
So if you ever want to do something hex based with it, let me know.
Well, I'm working on getting my units statted up to be based off of Battlesuit Alpha, which is kind of a mix between core and bigger battles. But they've got some good rules for vehicle platoons and infantry platoons. So yeah, we're going to see where I go with that. But I think I can also probably use it for Fistful of Toes as well. I think I need to get with Adam Jones down in St. Louis. He runs a pretty good game of Fistful of Toes, and I need to get with him to learn more about the game. I've got the book. It's a hefty book. Look at this thing.
Wow.
But it is all of, not counting the QRS sheets in the back, it's 454 pages.
Did Henry Hyde write that?
No, this was
I'm
by
just talking about the size of it.
Ty Beard and Paul Minson, whoever those guys are. But rules wise, it's 454 pages, but rules wise, it is only um 203 pages. So it is, yeah, toes or toes. It is toes as in tube launched optically wired guided anti-tank missile. And it's supposed to go all the way from 1915 to 2015. So, 100 years of armor combat in one book. So theoretically, you could fight an M4 Sherman against a T-72 if you wanted to.
Or 15 Shermans against one T-72.
Yeah.
That would be my preferred.
But yeah, it's I've played it several times. It's a good game. I enjoy it. There's a lot to it. From what I've seen, they've done a pretty good job. Hey Jeffy, yes, tube launched optically sighted wire guided missile system. Yes, that's what TOW stands for. I forgot the sighted part. So on top of what I already mentioned, also we're going to need 27 Cobras, 30 Kiowas, and 21 Iroquois.
No Blackhawks.
Not in 1989.
Oh, National Guard unit.
Yeah, I don't think Texas Guard got their Blackhawks until mid 90s. They were one of the first Guard units to get Blackhawks. So, but then on top of that, because I'm stupid enough to go completely nuts, I'm also going to be getting 100 and what does that work out? 199 deuce and a halves. 51 of them are going to have a trailer. 297 M151 Jeeps. 11 ambulance Gamma Goats. 51 regular cargo Gamma Goats. And if y'all don't know what a Gamma Goat is, it is probably one of the most odd vehicles the American Army has ever fielded. It's a 6x6 articulated if I remember correctly, 3-cylinder diesel engined amphibious truck.
Were they trying to replace the mule?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's smaller than the mule.
Right.
So have you ever watched Stripes?
Actually, no.
Oh man. Okay. So
I've seen a Gamma Goat though.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have a total of 62 of those, 11 of them ambulance. I'm gonna have 64 M577 command tracks and 8 scissor bridges. Based off of the M60 chassis. Also 38 M578 ARVs, 33 M88 ARVs, 11 M553 Wreckers. That's based off of the mule.
Okay.
60 M656 8x8 5-ton trucks, 50 M520 8-ton trucks, and 33 M559 fuel trucks. Also based off the mule.
If yeah, go big or go home.
Yeah. Then there's also 24 kitchen field trailers, 240 M416 trailers, 237 M105 trailers, 54 149A1 water trailers, also affectionately known as the water buffalo. 3 M109A3 van shops, 3 M816 trucks. It's a 5-ton truck. 33 M813 5-ton trucks, 6 aircraft maintenance trailers, and 6 ammo trailers. That is all the vehicles needed for the 49th Armored Division.
That's a few.
I'm insane. Now, like I said, I'm probably gonna. I'm definitely gonna be able to print out all of the combat vehicles, and I should be able to get most of the. I think I found someone that did a Gamma Goat. I think I definitely can get the deuce and a halves.
Yeah.
The others, I'm not so sure about. But you know what? We'll figure it out when we get to it.
Did you say you needed an ARV?
Both the M578 and the M88 ARV.
Okay. If I remember right, I think Pico makes those.
Yeah, and they're few enough in number that I might just buy them.
Yeah, because those are smaller.
Three packs will get 3 packs of each gets me actually 2 packs plus 3 individuals and 2 packs and 8 individuals gets me all the ARVs I need. So that's less than $30 total for all of them. Also, I'm going to go ahead and get the helicopters from Pico Armor instead of worrying about printing them because they look pretty good. I've got 4 of the Iroquois already. Good.
I thought, did you have a Kiowa as well?
Yeah, I've got. Where are you? Yeah, here we go. I got a couple of the Kiowas also.
Now, are you going to be crazy enough to figure out what weapons packages were on those and try to scope those on, or?
Oh God, no. No. And I do have some Cobras, but I think they are the wrong style of Cobra. Let's see where are my Cobras? Those are the Kiowas. Those are my Apaches. I swear to God, I had Cobras. Where'd the Cobras go? Oh, here they are. I've got 2 of the Scout Cobra or Scout damn it, not Iroquois, Kiowas, and 2 of the Attack Kiowas. Apparently, they made Attack Kiowas.
Mm-hmm. Kiowa Warrior.
Which is not what the Texas National Guard had. They just had the Scout Kiowas. They had the OH-58s.
And I assume those replaced the OH-6s in Texas service.
Oh yeah. Okay, so here are the Cobras.
That's a twin engine model.
Yeah. Was the S a twin engine?
Single engine.
Oh, it was a single. Yeah, so I won't be able to use these.
Single engine with a tow launcher, I believe.
Yeah. So I won't be able to use these to be accurate, but you know what? Charles, I don't know if they are A's or D's. He's asking if I've got Apache A's or D's. I honestly don't know the difference in them, and I don't know if there's a physical difference in them. Mr. Helicopter, do you know
The A's and the D's,
on the Apaches?
that's past my knowledge point.
Okay,
After about 1980, I'm no good.
right.
But I was gonna show you the single engine model of Cobra, which I've obviously painted over a lot of the detail. But
Okay, yeah. So it doesn't have the flares.
yeah,
Flared.
it narrows down.
Yeah,
Hang on,
yeah,
big fingers. It narrows down to the tail.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, I will not be able to use these. Now, what I could probably use these for is if I wanted to do something with the Marines.
Yeah, and honestly, even late Vietnam, I think the Marines had super Cobras. I think
Now,
73 through 75. I'm talking about real late.
right, yeah. Now, I did get a pair of my favorite helicopter of all time, the Mi-24 Hind. The Hind D. The radar. So it does not. So that would make them the A. They're not the it's not an Apache longbow. It's just a regular Apache. It does not have the radome on top of it. Yeah, but I actually got to see one of these fly.
Oh wow!
There's actually two of them in flight status out of Dallas, the Dallas area. And one of them came down to the Bluebonnet Air Show in Burnet, Texas. And I got to see it fly. It was really cool. So yeah, then I got these little guys. I think so I think these are the Cayuse.
Yeah, Cayuse OH6, also known as the Loach.
Yeah, but I think this one's got rocket pods on it. So that would make it an AH6, I guess. Again, not usable. Yeah, McMurray is here saying Reese has a radome on top of him. He's a Reese D. Nice. Charles says where my dad and I worked, we built the airframes for the Apaches. Bloody awesome aircraft.
That's pretty slick.
Yeah. That is cool. So, yeah, this is what I'm going to be focusing on.
Now, did you say you already had some of the Iroquois as well?
Yeah. So I got 4 of the Iroquois, and you know what? And you said the one I needed was the H, and you said that's a long body.
Yep.
And I'm going on the assumption that whatever version this is the long body. And
I'm holding it right here. I've got it next to my short body. It's a long body.
Okay. So yeah, I got 4 of the 21 that I need. So I'll need to buy. Well, if I buy 2 packs, that's 16 plus 4 is 20. I'll need to buy 1 extra.
You need 1 extra long body?
Well, because they come in packs of 8, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. That can be arranged.
So I'll buy 2 packs, plus the 4 I've got, that makes it 20. I need 21.
That can be arranged.
Yeah.
So
Um,
I'm probably going to make a helicopter order at some point, either this year or next year.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
McMurray wants to know what you're painting on.
Some conversions from late 80s Rangers to mid 60s Aircraft.
There you go.
And then I'm also just looking at my airplane and helicopter collection from the Cold War, because Chris brought up the helicopters, and I had to dig in and join in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And remembered that I had painted up these saber dogs, and then did research and realized that saber dogs never saw combat. So, oh well.
No big shakes. Marion Mike says, finished my Shadows of Brimstone Temple Dogs, except for the basing. Took forever trying to finesse the shading and highlights. McMurray says, nice. Charles said they were building the airframes until Boeing took the work away from us. Well, that happens.
McMurray, I got the shipping notice on the Swamp, and as soon as I get it, I'll package up Hawkeye and Hot Lips and send them your way.
You did get it.
Finally. And I got outbid on the ambulance 6 minutes before the auction closed.
Boo!
I wasn't going over full price.
No.
So I got outbid for $40, and it sold for $40. And the cheapest one on the market right now is $80 plus shipping. Yeah,
that's rough. That's rough.
I got the Swamp. I may send Radar his way too. I don't know.
Cool.
But
Charles says the airframe for the Apache looks like the prehistoric skeleton remains of some giant insect. It does.
Nice.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The AH-64 is one mean looking helicopter. But I just, for whatever reason, the Mi-24 is, well, it's the A-10 of helicopters. Let's be honest.
It's amazing. It's amazing aircraft. Enough said.
Well, not only can it carry enough firepower to knock out a platoon of tanks, but it can also carry about 8 Spetsnaz at the same time. So it's like take the Black Hawk and the Apache, make them do the nasty, and boom, you get an attack helicopter that brings its own ground support. Yeah, it does blow up when you do get it. When you do get a missile into it, it does blow up very dramatically. McMurray says outstanding. He's excited. So, so the 3mm project, Hexy asked me last week what were 3 things that I wanted to get back rolling in the hobby on, and those 3 things were learning to play this Carry Battle Philippines Sea, work on my 3mm project, and work on Ocean Thunder. And I've been working on Ocean Thunder also. I have been at work while I'm just bored out of my mind. I take my laptop with me and I work on, I've been adding, I call it sea locker sidebars. I've been adding some information to it. Those that I've already downloaded have seen some of those. I've got like information on the USS Texas, Bismarck, and Nimitz. Well, today I just added uh, Admiral Yamato. Uh, excuse me. I added the battleship Yamato. I added Admiral Yamamoto, a TBF Avenger, and the Supermarine Seafire. So I'm probably going to add Hood for the Brits, and then find some. Probably do I believe the Val is the dive bomber for the Japanese. I'm going to add the Val, and then figure out uh, a British admiral to throw in there. So let's see. I was fortunate. Hexy says I was fortunate enough to be on OP Alpha when one flipped upside down and hit the ground. Ooh, fun. Charles says he's got some photos of the airframes. Very cool. Then McMurray says make a buttload more ship stat sheets. I have a lot of them. I just need to update them to the new standard. So I'll get that out there soon. Again, if anybody wants a particular set of ships, let me know, and I will produce them, and I'll even make the little counters, so to speak, to put out there. Those are going to take a while to be exhaustive. And then, so those are the three things that I'm working on. No way in hell am I going to be finished with my 3mm project by the end of the year. Okay, you want the whole Royal Australian Navy. All right.
Was that like 16 ships?
I'll do it for Paulie. Actually, let's see here. What's crazy is I've cleaned my room enough that I can actually walk to my bookshelf.
That's impressive.
And not have to climb over like 14 layers of boxes and shit. McMurray, when I saw the RAN, the first thing that came to my mind was, you want the whole Royal Ass Navy. The Australian Navy. Let's take a look at what Jane's Book of Fighting Ships has to say. Royal Australian Navy. It has the Hobart.
That's a funny ship.
The Adelaide. The Bathurst, Australia, the Shropshire, the Queensborough class, the Swan, the Murchison class, and the Platypus. Oh, you want the Italians? Okay. So let's see here. Total number of ships: 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. The Bathurst there was 38 fleet minesweepers there. I don't think we're going to worry about depot and repair ships. So Yeah, I should be able to come up with something for it for all this. Uh, the Arahian is nothing more than an inflatable unicorn. Um, oh, and he wants the frog doofuses for a Marzel Labir breakout smackdown. Yeah, I should be able to get all that. I'll start with the Australian Navy first. So, like the Hobart here was originally the Apollo. The Andorran Navy, that's a couple of rowboats and muskets, right? um, Scala Gremlin says, I think that McMurray is probably the first person since the fall of Rome to want the Italians in a war.
He's got a point.
There is that.
McMurray, you're talking about frogmen. I've got a couple of combat divers I'm working on as well.
Now, to be fair, had a great navy on paper. The hardware was excellent. It was very much like the French, and it pretty much took it in the nuts while in port for most of it. But excuse me, her destroyers were magnificent pieces of machinery, very fast, all of them. So McMurray says everybody likes beating up on the spaghettis. But again, they were quite good ships, like the Navigatori class. They were right up. They were right in line with the Fletchers in size. They were a little undergunned with only 4.7-inch guns. And a little under torpedoed with only 4 21-inch torpedoes. But man, could they scoot. They could get up to 38 knots. It's the pinnacle of World War I technology. I mean, you're not wrong.
McMurray, I hope you know what you've done. I've now opened up my Frogmen box and decided to build them tonight.
Nice. But yeah, this is one of my all-time favorite books. It's a reprint of Jane's fighting ships of like 1940. Well, I think it's actually an amalgamation of all of the World War II Jane's books.
That sounds like something you'd find in half-price books and just like absolutely love.
Well, this one I actually paid retail at a real bookstore. I think it was I think it was 20 at the time. I think it was $25, and then I got the World War I Jane's book. So now my former boss, when I worked at the lumber yard, and some of y'all might know this, but the lumber yard here in Pike County Lumber, was founded in 1947 when William Grody purchased the Pike County Coal Company and made it into a lumber yard. The reason why I bring him up is because he was a commanding officer of a destroyer escort, the USS Tinman. In fact, he was the first and only commanding officer of the destroyer escort USS Tinman. And when he retired, he sold the company to his son or his sons, and um, he had Steve had his father's copy of the 1944 Jane's Book of fighting ships,
Wow.
and I actually got to hold it, touch it, peruse it. It was so cool. It was so cool. Um, if y'all remember, about 3 years ago at this time, I was building a 1/300 scale model of the USS Tinsman. It built it and painted it and gave it to um, Steve as a gift because they had pictures of the ship, um, and I got a hold of the model, and that way they could have a physical 3-dimensional version of it for themselves. So they were very happy to get that. And then a couple of months later, I left to go work for the feed mill.
That's how it
But
goes.
so all right, McMurray, I will go ahead and I'll go ahead and get started on Australia, the Australian Navy. Let me take a look at something here real quick. Hopefully, I can open what I need to open with it. Bum, 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 bum. Where are you? I've got um, I've got a PDF of one of the um, why are you not coming up? Been that long since I've opened it? Can't be. Mm-hmm. Howdy, Eric. Thanks for joining us. He says, hello, y'all. Nguyen says, and you would have been a Sammy McMurray, whatever Sammy is. Bear with me, guys. Games. Is it here? Yeah, there it is. So I've got a PDF of recognition pictorial manual of naval vessels dated 1943. And I need to see if they've got, I know they've got the Australian. Let's see, Australia.
This better work.
Okay. So so it's under the British ships. They um, they allude to the the Australian ships. So yeah, I will be able to get not only get the ships the ship sheets created, but I can also get the little counters made for Australia there. Uh, Anyone know much about the regional security system in the Eastern Caribbean? Not a whole lot, Mike. I actually, I'll be honest, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm wondering if he's talking about a bunch of ships from a bunch of different countries to control the
That
Caribbean in World War
yeah,
II.
that's the only thing I can
That's,
think of.
that's my only
Also,
guess.
yeah. Regional security system. In the, let me look that up. Let me use my amazing supercomputer here.
I'm building frogmen feet at the moment, so
Are they webbed?
they're going to. They're fighting on land, but they're carrying their flippers on their back. And I was like, nope, you're going to have your flippers on your feet because that's the way I want it to look.
So you're gonna make them look like the frogmen from um, damn it, Johnny Quest,
Yeah, something like that.
where they're on the ground or on the land, but they've got their flippers and their goggles on.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what these guys are going to be.
Nice.
So, matter of fact, I'm going to have to overhang the base a little bit with them too because well, they might fit.
Okay, regional security system. Wikipedia says it's an international agreement for the defense and security of the Eastern Caribbean region with future expansion planned with South America.
Interesting.
It's a military alliance created in 1982 to counter threats to the stability of the region in the late 70s and early 80s. On 29 October, 4 members of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, which were Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent in the Grenadines, signed a memorandum of understanding with Barbados to divide the mutual assistance on request. There you go.
McMurray, I got to go. Sorry, go ahead.
It's based out of the Grantley Adams International Airport at Sewell, Christchurch, Barbados. So there you have it.
So McMurray, I've got 2 of these frogmen. I know you and I can have a thing for weird, wacky weapons. Vietnam era UDT team. What weapon should I throw with them? Because I can do just about anything. Keep in mind, I've got SEALs with stoners and shotguns and stuff already, so that I've got that covered.
Mandarin Mike says since 1982, Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica, St. Lucia. Yeah. There has to be an interesting game design in there somewhere. Well, I mean, the first action that they had was in 1983 with the Grenada intervention to restore the government in Grenada with U.S. military participation, which was Operation Urgent Fury.
Now, which side were they on? I'm assuming they were on the U.S.
Yeah,
side.
yeah, because they wanted to get rid of the Cubans and Angolans.
That would make
sense. Eric, I know. I apologize. I'm just getting back into all of my dealings. So I can crank out Massachusetts in no time, and I'll get that over to you. Yeah, my meandering Mike, march to the steel drum. There you go. But they've helped with hurricanes and coups and prison riots.
I think a naval bombardment to put down a prison riot would be an interesting scenario.
There you go. Or you can just take the word riot out of there and put down the prison.
Ain't no prison, ain't no riot.
Exactly.
Sounds like a very Central American way of dealing with that.
Or as Wild Bill Garnier said in um, I don't remember which episode, but it was the episode where Bull got caught behind enemy lines during Battle of or during Market Garden.
Yep.
Um, if there ain't no fucking body, there ain't no fucking. How do you put it? Nobody's fucking dead if there's ain't no fucking body.
Yep.
Ain't no fucking riot if there ain't no fucking prison riot if there ain't no prison. Um, Tony says they were really there just to provide legitimacy. Yeah, fair enough. And then Eric said, all good, just busting my chops. Yeah, I know, buddy. I know. It could be a role playing game. Actually, a good, it would, I'll tell you a role playing game that would work well with that would be Twilight 2000. Just take out all of the nuclear and chemical stuff because Twilight 2000's got, all of the military weapons and whatnot. So, but yeah, it's so the current members of the regional security system, of course, you still got Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Guyana, and Jamaica as of this year. Jamaica joined this year. And then coming up in the future, they're going to add the Bahamas, Belize, Haiti, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago. And Jamaica joined a month and 12 days ago. August 1st. So there you have it. So yeah, I will. The other thing I'm going to be working on for Ocean Thunder is figuring out how to utilize searchlights and radar, so I can do good good night combat that we saw a lot of in the Pacific. I've got some ideas rolling around. I think I'm just going to make it one of the ideas for night combat is limiting your sight distance drastically. Oh, there you go. Post-apocalyptic zombies, RSS versus the swimming dead.
Yikes. Now they can
all good, man. But I'm thinking of well, for radar, I think just to make it easy, it's just going to be a bonus on your roll if you've got if the ship has surface search radar, it gets a +1 to its roll to hit. And I think searchlights and star shells are just going to allow you to. Well, I got to see what range, how far a searchlight can see. Yeah, yeah, Hexy. Yeah, my viewers are weird, and they do watch you as well. So your viewers are weird too. Um, second scenario for the coalition: how to deal with a foreign sub when they don't have anything to deal with a sub. Yeah, they do. They call the United States Navy, and the United States Navy deals with said sub. That's how that works. Because although they're there for the Eastern Caribbean, there is also um, the Rio Pact, the Inter-American Treaty of Reciprocal Assistance. The reason why it's called the Rio Pact is it was signed in Rio de Janeiro. The United States is a signer of it, as are most of the islands in the Caribbean. So,
You know what might be interesting though? Run them against cartel subs that aren't like fully submerged, but just like barely above the water.
oh yeah,
Some low vis
yeah,
stuff.
yep. Yeah, Hex. Hexy says, and I love them all. Yeah, I love all. I love all of our viewers. Also, at one point in time, we had 14 watching. We now have 10. That's still cool because I'm just rambling about random ass shit at this point. Nguyen says, since they did not have radar and all that in World War One, did they use flare shells from ships to continue naval action at night? I honestly don't know. I think they had star shells back then.
If I remember right, though, didn't they call Jutland like? Didn't one of the things that helped at Jutland was nightfall?
Yeah, I think so. I think they did their best to break off.
Yeah.
Um,
Not saying anybody's wrong. I just seems like the best option to me.
yeah, I think that's accurate. McMurray would be better suited to answer that question. Of course, he is either driving or um, in the middle of something else.
Yeah.
Hexy says, I'm still too sick to get on with any attention span. Sorry. Hey, that's okay, man. You get feeling better. Relax.
Do what you need
Hang
to.
out. You know, add messages as you go. McMurray wanted to, Nguyen, Chris wanted to know, in World War One, did they just use star shells to continue naval action at night? So we thought you might know that answer. Nguyen says, I took my normal pills today, so I'm good. I'm a good boy tonight. There you go. Now, I did not take my medication this morning, which is okay because it's just my metformin and my allergy medicine. I can pop my allergy medicine tonight. Okay, yeah. McMurray says, to the best of my knowledge, they avoided it like the plague.
McMurray, weird, wacky frogmen, Vietnam weapons. If you have a chance.
Yeah. But good news is, for the last 2 weeks, my highest, the highest my blood sugar has been when I checked in the morning, after not eating for about 10 hours or more, was 124, which is pretty damn good for me. I earlier this week I had a 98.
You all right over there, bud?
Oh yeah, yeah. As long as I don't get below 80, I'm okay.
Okay.
Um, you know what, Charles? I don't have a problem with metformin. I take two, one in the morning and one in the evening. I really don't have a problem. Now, what has dropped me so dramatically? I stopped eating snack cakes. You know how hard that is? I love ding dongs and ho hos and nutter, fucking nutty buddies
They will
and
forever be nutty bars. They are not nutty buddies to me.
or whatever. Uh, Here you go. Panther Shadow says seals armed with seals.
Oh no.
I'm not going to club you like a baby seal. I'm going to club you with a baby seal.
You know, if I hadn't, I got 4 extra seals laying around. If I get some seals, we'll make it
You know
happen.
where you can get. You know where you can get seals.
Where
Michaels in the tubes.
are they? Can I get a tube of seals, or do I have to buy several?
You might have to buy several, or you might be able to find just individual. Okay, Sunday. This coming Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
Don and I are going to the St. Louis Zoo.
Take a look.
I know they've got individual seals for purchase. I'll pick some up for you.
Hey, don't worry about picking them up. Just send me the brand and the picture of them, and I can find them online
All right.
for cheaper. Because zoo gift shops are overpriced anyway.
Yeah, but I get into the zoo for free
There you go.
because it's the St. Louis Zoo. Anybody can walk into the zoo for free.
Really?
Yeah, it's a good zoo. It's a really good zoo.
I got a
Now,
buddy.
if you want to do extra things like see the sea lion show,
Mm-hmm.
you got to
Yep.
pay to get into that. Or if you want to pet the stingrays, like Donna likes to do, you got to pay for that.
No, did enough of that in Florida.
Oh man, she loves petting she loves petting them. Yeah, Charles, I wish I had that problem right now. I'm the opposite direction. We won't go too deeply into that. Um, so, all right. So this is what I'm going to. Um, this is what I'm going to.
Yeah.
What's what I'm looking for here? Why am I drawing a blank?
Future.
It's. I was going for a better word than promise, but my promise to this group. McMurray, you're fucking nuts, dude. This is don't pet him, punch him. Let him know that Steve Irwin still's got hitters out here. Oh, I love you, buddy. I really do. Anyway, I will by next Wednesday. I will have the Australian Navy done. Skylar Grimlin says that McMurray, amen. And then Meandering Mike says, God, why am I craving a Cadbury Carmelo chocolate bar? Dude, cut it out.
Mm-hmm. I got a Dollar General across the street.
One of my favorite snack cakes is a Star Crunch.
We used to just have boxes of those on the work truck.
Dude, if I had boxes of those, it would last a day. Man.
Climbing out from under a fryer covered in grease. It's about 2:30 in the morning. You're tired and hungry. Opening up that Star Crunch, Now,
when I was at Boy Scout camp, we got I as I was a junior assistant scoutmaster because I was 17 and 18 at the time for those 2 summers. So I got to camp by myself. I I I didn't have really many merit badges to do because all the ones that they offered I had already gotten.
Mhm.
So I was just there to help the first year scouts. Right, that
Right.
was my job. Get them to get them to their swimming merit badge class. Get them to their fucking basket weaving class. Get them to the whatever class. Right.
Right.
Well, each class was 50 minutes to an hour, and we did 4 each day. Um, so once I got them there, the camp staff took over, so I could go do whatever the hell I wanted to do. Right.
Hmm.
So I would go to the general store, area, and I'd get an A&W root beer and a Butterfinger. No better snack
As
than
long
an
as you
A&W root
as
beer.
long as you drink the root beer first, so the Butterfinger doesn't interfere with the taste.
No, they were good at the same time.
I need to try that out.
I,
That's
I
almost as good as peanuts in your RC cola.
tell me you're from the South without telling me you're from the South.
Sorry.
Because that right there is some Southern shit. That's
Yeah.
right up there. That's right up there with biscuits and red eye gravy. Um, Scala Gremlin. She asked for D, so I gave her diabetes.
Oh man.
Oh, me Andrew Mike says it's time to see what I can order with next day's shipping. Must have snacks.
Y'all are almost giving me my appetite back after work today.
Oh man,
They
not a
took
good.
us
Not
on
a
they took us on a tour of the processing plant to
well.
see what we might want to do after they terminate us from the farms. So
Mm-mm. No, no. I don't need to know what happens to the birds
I will put
before they get to my table.
I will say this. I may or may not have a nice job waiting in maintenance.
Do they know? Wait, do they know about your history with electricity?
Yes, but they've also seen my resume.
Do they realize they probably won't need maintenance when you're no longer at the farm because you're not blowing shit out?
See, that's the problem is stuff would blow up and I would fix it and we'd never call maintenance because if you don't call maintenance, there's not a work report.
Nice. Telemachus says turkey bits mixologist. That's only if you make turkey loaf.
Which I saw today.
Ugh.
So I saw a big
Has
old
anyone,
pallet headed to HEB.
has anyone tried spreading butter on their toast and then spread? That's how I grew up. That's how
Is
my
there
dad. That's how my dad makes peanut butter sandwiches.
is there a different way? And if you're
I
feeling
don't know.
really fancy, you put Ritz crackers underneath the jelly.
Wild turkey.
You
You
know,
can get wild turkey overnighted to you.
if I worked at the wild turkey plant, I would probably have more friends.
Better Christmas gift.
Here's a bottle instead of a turkey.
Right? Oh,
Which,
man.
yeah, I was supposed to bring a turkey to Wiley War Games weekend, but that's not what happened this year.
Oh well.
But I think Robin would kill me if I showed up with a live turkey in my passenger seat going, I'm here.
We need to get McMurray to corral Reggie and bring him over. uh,
Honestly, I just put one in a dog crate and put a tarp down in the back of my car, and it'd be good.
that's a big damn. That's gonna be a big damn dog crate.
I have big dogs.
Fair
So
enough. Here Mike says at Ninguaya, peanut butter and almost any other fat or protein, great synergy. Um, Charles says my new doc says meat. Peanut butter and Braunschweiger? God no. Oh.
So
Braunschweiger anything is look.
we had a little restaurant called Wiener Schnitzel open up just north of us, and I got all excited because I thought it was going to be a German restaurant. I get there,
No, it's hot dogs. Yeah,
I was all excited to get, kraut and Jaeger Schnitzel, and nope.
yeah. Good old Wiener Schnitzel. That's a Texas staple right there for me.
I walked in, I turned on my heel, and I walked out because it was not what I thought it was.
They make good hot dogs though, man. Their chili dogs are good.
I'll have to go up there and get one of these days, but I got to get.
It's good.
I got to find a German restaurant and satisfy that first.
There you go. Peanut butter and cream cheese, that'd be good. Okay, here's the question, guys. On your bagel or English muffin, is it cream cheese, then the jelly, or jelly and then the cream cheese?
See, for me, it's like glazed sugar because my bagel is a donut.
God, that's something else. I love.
I have a Krispy Kreme just down the road, hot off the.
Krispy Kremes are okay.
They are okay when they're best when they're fresh. I can walk in and get one right off the line, free sample. Yeah. Best. Lamar's is better than Krispy Kreme later, but if you're going to get it fresh.
Now, if you're talking good fresh donuts, the best fresh donut I have ever eaten is a Round Rock donut from Round Rock, Texas.
I still got to go down there.
Now, if it's more than 30 minutes old, no good. Virtually tasteless. But there's something about it being hot right off, and they're big too. I mean, they're like this big.
Yeah.
They're like the size of like 3 Krispy Kremes.
Have you had a Hertz donut?
Yeah.
Oh, Hertz is good.
No, I've not had a Hertz donut. I've had donuts at Hertz. I used to work there.
No, I mean it's their logo is a donut with a Band-Aid on it, if that tells you anything.
Nice.
So
let's see. And I don't know how it happens, but we always end up talking about food on this damn show. Charles says butter okay, avocado oil, fruit, beef tallow. There you go. Only had banana and peanut butter, or peanut butter with maple syrup drizzled on it. Peanut butter and honey.
For the win. That was that was my after feeding the cows snack for years.
Mandarin Mike, the cream cheese variant I'm in, says Ninguaya. Yeah, Charles says chili cheese hot dogs. Oh man, I love a chili cheese hot dog. Peanut butter and jelly, no sugar added. Reminder, folks, I have a games giveaway and magazines going on the channel. Sign up if you haven't already. Yeah, guys, head on over to Mandarin Mike. Check him out. Y'all know what to do. Ninguaya says, I still need to go to one of your state fairs. So I'm going to be honest.
It depends on the state fair.
Yes. You're going to want to go to a state fair that's in the South. to be perfectly honest. You're going to want to go to the Texas State Fair. Uh, I I I've been to the Missouri State Fair. It's okay. I've been to the Illinois State Fair. It's okay. Um, any state fair in the South is going to have the best fried food you can ever get a hold of. Fried Dr. Pepper, fried butter, um,
Fried Snicker bars.
fried Oreos, fried Twinkies. Yeah. Scal Gremlin says, go ahead.
Some of them you can bring your own things and they'll fry it for you.
Yeah. Scal Gremlin says, Voodoo Donuts in Portland, Oregon. McMurray says, Old Town Donuts in F Town, Missouri. A cruller. I do like me a cruller. Yeah. McMurray says they're the best donuts made, just don't get shot getting them.
That's part of the fun.
Intamin's chocolate covered donuts. For boxed donuts that you buy at the grocery store, Intamin's is going to be your best option. Krispy Kreme is top tier chain donuts fresh.
I agree. There's a little place. There's a little place in Lewisburg, the cider mill, Lewisburg, Kansas, that makes these wonderful apple donuts. Though.
Oh, there's nothing better than an apple fritter. Oh man, the problem is most places just drown them in glaze. Just a hint, just kind of wave it across to get a hint of it. Panther Shadow says the donuts here are sold with a syringe sticking out of it. Insert your own jam. Okay, so my mind goes someplace that it probably shouldn't. Just saying. Nguyen says, has anyone had leatherwood honey? I am not aware of what leatherwood honey is. Is that honey made from leatherwood flowers? I'm guessing. Or maybe it's from the leatherwood farm. I don't know. So my answer to that question is no, I have not. So I am officially old at this point because I'm starting to get wounds on my body that I don't remember how I got them.
I guess I'm old too.
Like I've got a couple of scabs on my shin that I have no idea what happened or how I got them. None whatsoever. It's like, what happened? McMurray says can probably find syringes out back of Old Town too. Yeah, those are syringes you don't want.
No, those would be the kind I had to call the police department about when I was in Walmart.
Yeah. Skelgrim says I grew up in Seattle in the 90s. I'm so used to everything having syringes sticking out of them. Yeah. Or shotguns, and never mind. Hey.
Okay.
I got a donut place in Santee, maximum 12 to 15 minutes away, open 24/7, maybe closed on Christmas, not sure. See, that's the problem with living out here in the sticks. Ain't nothing open 24/7. And I mean nothing. Even the big gas station in town, which is a 20-minute drive from me, closes at 10. Yeah.
They roll up the sidewalks too?
Yes, they do. Nicholas says, I have often wanted to do a giant road trip and visit state fairs and mini putt courses and wonder how many I can get to before dropping dead of cardiac arrest at the hole.
Well, if you go to Branson, Missouri, I think there's 6 or 7 mini golf courses, so you could just knock yourself out for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, Charles says, unknown cuts and bruises. Welcome to my world. I'm catching up with you, man. That's all I can say. Um, I'm sorting through my mutts here, and I've got, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 6 of them without the machine gun, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with the machine gun.
Now, the machine guns mounted on the mutts. Were those M60s or were those M2s?
I think there were 60s.
Okay. I have only really seen pictures of 60s mounted on them, and I heard something about the M2 bending the frame. But the upgrade kit I got for my mutt has a 50 on it, so we're putting a 50 on it.
Hey, there you go. And then I've got, yeah, then I've got the mutts with the tow missile launchers on them.
Yeah,
I got 15 of those bad boys.
the kit I've got is called Charlie on the Left. So it's gonna be good. The toe, and I don't know if Hexy's still on here or not. What year was the toe put on the mutt? Be late 70s.
Mid to late 70s, I think. I don't think they had them in Vietnam. I could be wrong.
I don't think they did either because I don't think they had any toes in Vietnam if I remember, but I could be wrong on that.
Didn't the Hueys have them?
No.
When did they put the toe on the Cobras?
That I don't know. Begin the Google search on the tow missile launcher.
There you go. So I've got 15 mutts with the toes.
First produced in 1970.
Oh, the toe itself?
Yes. Bum, 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 bum.
So I actually, hey Chris, how you doing, buddy? Walkabout Games has joined us. So, Mr. Long, McMurray has requested that I do all of the Australian Navy ship sheets for Ocean Thunder. I suspect that you would like the same done for Canadian Navy. I don't know who you would fight them against, but you know,
Convoy escort.
yeah.
Okay, you were right, Chris.
What's that?
They did deploy them on the Cobras in the 70, not the Cobras, the Hueys in 72.
Okay.
They shot PT-76s from the air in the 2nd of May 72.
Were those were the Huey Hogs, right?
I'm not sure if it was the Hog or the Frog. It was a Huey gunship. I'm not sure what model it was.
Yeah.
Let's see. They had killed 24 tanks, both PT-76s and T-54s by the end of May.
There you go.
So, but that was the only combat use in Vietnam, evidently. I take that back. Some ARVN units had them in 72, but they fell into enemy hands. So, interesting.
Charles says, was all ready to base my new figures I got today. Can't find them. That'll teach me to clean up my paint storage table.
Yeah, I reorganized my paints recently too. So,
I saw the picture. It looks good.
well, she moved out of this room and completely turned it over to me.
What?
Yeah, she
Does
wouldn't.
she?
She set up a desk somewhere else in the house.
As long as she's still getting to do her thing, man,
Hey,
that's all good.
she's the one that suggested it and volunteered it and felt kind of bad about it, but
All right.
I felt kind of bad about it. But yeah,
Chris Long says was first used in '72. I'm reading about that counteroffensive right now.
yeah,
There you
that
go.
must have been intensive.
And McMurray says the light cruiser hoser. Take off, eh?
It's a refueling ship.
I thought that was the HMCS Labatt.
Something like that. Oh, this is going to be a test of my painting skills.
Heavy cruiser syrup and poutine. Okay, do you say syrup or syrup?
It's syrup,
All right.
and I'm probably wrong in half of the United States, but I'm right down here.
Exactly. It's syrup. And
Yeah.
and and what do you call a uh, dark colored carbonated beverage?
See, I spent enough time in Florida that I call it a soda, but a lot of people in my family would call it Coke, no matter what it is. So,
Correct. It is a Coke. Hey, grab me a Coke. What do you want? Dr. Pepper. Now, Sprite is any clear carbonated beverage.
yeah, be it Sierra Mist, be it Starry, be it whatever.
7 Up, yeah, what have you.
Mountain Dew's always Mountain Dew, though. If you want to do in my family, you say you want to do.
Canadian Navy is the fourth largest navy at the end of World War II. Yeah, well, because the Japanese and the German navies no longer existed. The RCS 10 bits, there you go. McMurray says Fleet Oiler Molson. Okay, he wants us to pronounce the generic term for Crayolas.
Oh, crayon?
Yeah, it's a crayon. My niece.
No crown.
My niece pronounced it crown. Crown. Like, God, no, it's crayon. Crayon. Crayon.
And it's not a crayon either.
Yeah, no.
Or crawfish or
Now, okay, so Meandering Mike has almost all of them. Pop, soda, cola, fountain drink. In Iowa and anywhere a high V is located, they call them fountain pop, which is like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah, that's almost as bad
because there's nothing more Yankee than fountain pop.
I will refer to Louis Grizzard on this one. You gotta squint your butt up.
Mandarin Mike says crayon or crayon. It is crayon.
It's definitely crayon.
Yeah, Scalagremlin, that's correct. The fastest way to pin down an American dialect or accent is to start asking them to pronounce caught and cot.
Same word.
No, it's not. I caught a ball. I'm going to sleep on a cot.
I mean, it's pronounced the same in my book. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's just that's how you talk.
But
for me, but for me, it is definitely two different words.
Yeah.
What the hell's a yinzer?
That's way up in Yankeedom. Isn't that? It's not.
Is that like yuns?
I think it's
I would
Ewan.
say y'all. What?
I think it's like Ewans or something. Or
Yeah.
I'm not
No,
sure. I'm not exactly
no.
sure.
Ewans is from down around where you are.
Mm, depends.
My my stepdad's father would say Ewans.
There's a difference between Ewans and y'all, though.
Oh yeah, there is.
And Ewans is usually referring to a bunch of young people
Yeah,
because it's basically a shortened of youngins.
right.
But yeah, and if somebody says they're going to go toe to poke,
Um, what they call how people say the weird words. Okay, like creek instead of crick. It's a creek. A crick is what you get in your neck. A creek is where you go find crawdads. And it's a crawdad, not a crayfish or a
that's a crawfish.
crawfish.
It's a
It's a
crawfish.
crawdad.
It's
It's
crawfish.
crawdad.
Crawfish.
No, you, hush pie hole.
Now, it's crawfish when it's on the plate.
No, it's a crawfish on a plate. But when you scoop them up out of the creek or off out of the lake and you're fighting them, that's crawdad.
Yes. Okay. I will go with that one. Or what do they call them? Mud bug. Mud
Yeah,
bug. I'll say mud
but
bug.
yeah,
But
but
yeah.
yeah, crawfish etouffee. It's not crawdad etouffee. When it's food, it's crawfish.
Mhm. Now, I grew up in the hometown of Crawdad Days, um, and that's a fun festival. But
Oh, Ninglea, you're killing me, brother. Says I love my fountain pop with my chili and beans from the Northern State Fair.
Wrestle, yeah.
Um, ginger ale, Canada Dry, not a moss. I don't like ginger ale.
I like a very
I
strong
definitely,
ginger ale.
I also don't like ginger beer. I don't like the strong ginger taste.
Gotcha.
No, see, there's a difference between wrestle and wrestle.
Wrestling's what you watch
Wrestle,
on TV. Wrestling's what you do in the living room.
no, wrestle is what you see on the mat, like like Greco-Roman wrestling. It's what you see like in college sports or high school sports. Wrestling is what you see on television.
Okay.
That's with the Von Erichs and the Great Kabuki, the
Andre.
Iron Sheik, Andre the Giant. Yeah, that's wrestling. Percy Block says ginger beer rocks. I got a buddy who loves ginger beer. He brings a 6-pack of Gosling to every game event.
I'll drink it. It's good.
Have fun with it. Mayor Mike says I like mixing other beverages with ginger ale. Fair enough. Scholar Gremlin says beer is everything terrible about ginger blended with everything terrible about cheap beer. American wrestling is entertainment, not sport. Well, you can't say that because American wrestling. When I think of wrestling, again, I think of two guys on a mat in in a circle, wrestling. What you see on TV, that's wrestling. Charles says he misses roller derby. They've got a female roller derby league in Texas. And Nguyen says if you're lucky in the bedroom. I assume you're referring to wrestling. No. And that's why we say Greco-Roman wrestling. Well, Telemachus says roller derby on YouTube. There you go. Now, okay, Chris Long, do you say derby or do you say Darby? Because I know the Brits say Darby when they mean derby. That's a completely different can of worms there. Ba-bum. I have Derby. Okay, there you go. I'm going to put that one up because I might not be able to read it. Scott Grillin says she was all into the wrestling in the bedroom until I dropped an elbow on her head the top of the dresser.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
It was all good until I did a suplex. Oh, damn.
If I stood on my dresser, I think I'd hit my head.
What's that?
If I stood on my dresser, I think I'd hit my head on the ceiling.
Yeah, I'm right there. Oh, man. Oh, that hurt. Oh, so what three things are you working on to finish out this year?
I want to get Way City done by the turn of the year.
What's that?
I want to get Way City
Oh, okay.
done by the turn of the year.
How close are you to having that?
I have most of the terrain. I have most of the figures built. I've got maybe 8 Marines to do. No, make that 10 Marines and my recoilless rifle carrier.
Is it a Vespa?
No, it's one of those like oh, it's one of those motorized carts the Marines used, basically.
Oh yeah.
And then I got a play test. I play tested it on Tabletop Simulator a couple weeks ago. Put a Star Wars mask on it, put it in the middle of Mos Eisley, and threw a bunch of stormtroopers down and didn't change any of the rules, and the guys didn't know any better.
Yeah.
And it was too long for convention, so I got to shorten it a little bit. I think I know how.
Yeah, give the RPG gunners a D12. And then that shit real fast.
Well, and that's the problem, right? Is on with this rule set, which is not fistful. It's going to be 5 core. You're not always in combat, but when you get in combat, you get bogged down.
Yeah.
Like you're moving your scout and you pop that corner and there's a machine gun bunker. All of a sudden, your movement is zilch, and you got to figure out how to get around it. So we'll see.
What's an M203? That's how you end that shit real fast.
Yeah, I was trying to get an Ontos. They got too expensive on me.
What's that?
I was trying to get an Ontos, one of those tanks with rifles on it, because they used one of those in Way. I've got a couple tanks. And I want to have a lot of stuff sitting on the board that the people aren't actually going to be able to use, because as a platoon commander trying to get the remainder of your guys back to the HQ, you don't have all that at your disposal. You're just you're an ant in the middle of the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But then so that's my big one. I'd like to get my my 3mm Pacific air combat stuff done. I've almost got it done. And then I really don't have a third thing I'm working on.
Okay.
But I mean, I could my brown water navy maybe. So, but I think that's it. I've got some big plans for next year, but I'm holding myself back on them.
Yeah. Panther Shadow wants to know what sparked your interest in Vietnam.
You know, that is a wonderful question. Um, I've always been a history buff, always been an aviation buff. Um, my grandfather worked for Ling Timco Vought in the '60s, and then as a contractor for the Navy during the era. Um, and I was I had limited myself to Korea. I wasn't going to go any further modern than Korea, and it was my last. No, it wasn't my last year in college. It was I think my second to last year in college. A bunch of my buddies were moving away, and I said, "Hey, I'll run a big game for you, like the week before you graduate and move off. Do you want world? I'm going to start a new period for it, and I put on the table World War I or Vietnam, and they said Vietnam, and I didn't stop after the one game because that one game turned into running a convention game at March to Victory, turned into me getting into all the different subsets of Vietnam. I now have Vietnam aircraft in 3 mil. Yeah, rabbit holes and ADHD and hyperfixating on things. So, which is really great at work when you have a project to get done that you're actually interested in. It's not so great when you have a budget and a lot of 135th scale helicopters are on sale. As I look
Yeah.
around at the one, two, three, possibly four Hueys unbuilt in my scale. So next year is going to be the year of not buying minis that I almost did this year and made it 6 months. So,
Hey, uh, Meter Mike says order placed Cadbury bars and gelato and some boring groceries. And Panther Shadow says ADHD is a big umbrella. Yeah, it is.
yes, it
Well,
is.
I mean, to be honest, um, the gaming hobby is a big umbrella also. So they kind of go hand in hand because there's so many different ways to game, or there's so many ways to be in the hobby, right? And I think, and I've talked about this before. Um, I won't go too deep into it because we're getting close to being at 2 hours. But I don't like it when people um, gatekeep. See you later, Chris. Yeah, we're gonna be wrapping up here pretty quick anyway, so don't worry about it. We'll definitely see you next week, hopefully. But excuse me, I don't like people gatekeeping in the hobby. Well, if you don't paint your own miniatures, then you know you're not doing it right. Or if you don't play board games, you're not wargaming. Well, you know what? The fact that I've got Hueys and Cobras and Blackhawks and Hind D's and MiG 21s begs to differ with you. Because by definition, if I'm gaming with these things, it's not a peace rally.
No, it's a Gaslands match.
Exactly. Apparently. Um, or people. Well, if you now people will definitely will get bent out of shape with what I'm about to say. I personally don't like playing with unpainted miniatures because when I game, I normally game in a public setting, either at a game store or at a convention, um, or something to that effect. So to me, having painted miniatures is representative of or how I get people interested in what I'm gaming. You got to have a good looking table, in my opinion, to have to draw interest. Now, that being said, if you are at home on your own game table, whether you're with buddies or not, and you want a game without, or you want a game without painted miniatures, that's all you, brother. I mean, if that's how you want to play, by all means, you do you.
Mhm.
I'm not even I'm not even gonna bitch at you if you're at a game convention with unpainted miniatures. Again, that's on you. If that's how you want to do it, that's fine. Don't expect me to come sit down and play the game with you. Um, when I played in tournaments, I always had a fully painted force, and there's several times I sat across a guy that didn't have a fully painted force, and you know what? That was okay. I knew that he was, you know, I was just a speed bump on his way to nationals of whatever game I was playing, and he was testing to see if that is how he wanted to go to, if he wanted to go to regionals and nationals with that particular force, and if it wasn't what he wanted to, if he was just testing it out, why take the time and effort to paint up everything if you're going to end up not using it right then? I get that. I didn't mind it. But if I'm putting the game on, I'm going to have fully painted forces. Um, Scholar Gremlin says, my version of gatekeeping, if you don't buy the minis for me, you don't tell me how to play with them. Fair enough. I'm okay with that type of gatekeeping. Um, Me and Mike says, so many ways to have fun. Let's not limit it. Exactly. Niguay says, that is the one of the reasons I love this show. Uh, does that
Well,
uniform have one less button? I don't care. I am forever grateful to Charles Latora for mentioning this show. Well, thank you, Niguya Chris, and thank you, Charles. And also that you've not banned me. I'm not. I have. Unless you're coming on here with come see this porn site, I'm not going to ban you. Don't worry. Uh, I don't mind a game having a dress code, so to speak, but I would prefer it would be rather lax in general. You know what? Again, like I said, I'm not gonna I'm not going to snub my nose at you if you come to the table with unpainted miniatures and it's a pickup game or a tournament game. That's fine. I don't care. Um, but I'm gonna bring painted miniatures. They might not be great painted. But that's the other thing. I'm never gonna pay somebody to paint my own miniatures. Now, will I buy miniatures that have already been painted that somebody is selling? Yes. But I'm not gonna buy an unpainted miniature, send it off to somebody, and pay them to paint it for me and send it back. If you do that, that's fine. That's up to you. And I'm not one of these guys. Oh, painting's part of the hobby. No, painting is not part of the hobby. I
painting's a
hate painting.
separate hobby.
Well, it's still within the realm of it's in the Venn diagram
Yeah,
because
it's a supporting hobby.
yeah. Um, so you know, I've known several people, several friends of mine that have sent miniatures off to be painted.
I mean,
I'm not going to be one of them.
I'm about to send a couple of them to McMurray to get done.
That's a little different though. I mean, because that's a buddy of yours. You
Yeah.
know, my buddy Chris has sent me miniatures to paint for him, um, which I need to find them and get them painted.
That's what friends are for, losing your miniatures.
Yeah, exactly. 15 millimeter Germans. Go figure, right?
Well, and
Um,
that's one of the reasons that I got into 54s, frankly, is um, I had quite the collection, and somebody told me that wargaming with them wouldn't work. And
why?
I'm stubborn enough to go watch me.
But why? Why wouldn't you be able to game with them?
Something about ground scale and how it wouldn't be accurate and how weapon ranges wouldn't be accurately represented and blah blah blah, and like no rule set's gonna accommodate that and movement speed. And I'm like, in one ear out the other, and I just shot you with my cannon, so make sure you roll that armor save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ninguea says, I love the zen of it for me. I love the glacial pace I take. You know what? If you're the type of person that loves to paint, more power to you. Um, I don't.
I wish I had discovered this kind of YouTube channel in 2020, because I locked myself in my parents' basement with a bunch of unpainted plastic and a paint set and went ham listening to all kinds of hobby podcasts. It just
Yeah, well, it took you a couple of years to find me, but
it
you
did.
did, and that's all that counts.
I did find something called the Rockies War Room podcast at one point in there though, and listened to a bunch of those. Moved on, and years later figured out, hey, you're the same guy.
Same guy, but better.
A lot, yeah.
Um,
Well,
so
because I didn't see any faces, I just heard these voices, and there was occasionally a guy or two on there. And I'm like, yeah, they got a really good point there. I think I would be friends with this guy, and turns out now I'm friends with the guys I thought I would be friends with from there. So,
well, all the cool kids moved over here. So,
well, I was listening to
um,
this McMurray guy is a weirdo, but I love him.
oh, yeah,
And then
he's good peeps.
Mutt.
Yep.
I remember listening to the episode where Mutt joined. But
Oh Lord, yeah,
um,
that wow.
Mingwea, if you have access to a trailer or potential, not a trailer, a tractor or potentially a backhoe, that makes that a lot easier. Um,
Exactly. Even a little ditch witch. Depends on the size of trench you want to dig.
yeah, I mean, are
Let's
we
be
talking
honest.
about like a conduit trench? Or are we talking about like a trench with a fire step? Like, what are we, what are we digging here?
We're gonna have some, weft reeds to keep the mud down. Um,
Yeah, World War One is on my list for next year though. I've already started on some of the figures.
so Purple Druid presents Wargame Culture says, I respectfully disagree, sir. I believe that painting is part of the hobby. So is building scenery, terrain, and so on. How big of a part? Well, that depends on the hobbyist, doesn't it? So I think we're in agreement with what you're saying, Purple Druid. It's that it is part of the hobby, but it is not the hobby for a lot of people. Now I know a lot of people I know people that all they do is paint miniatures. They don't game at all.
Oh well, I don't get enough games in, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um And Hexy says, I'm with Druid on this one, just like I say, clip, clip, clip. Again, if I had a proper
Stuff.
set of clippers, um, I love the sound of a ditch witch, but for other reasons. We'll
You
we'll
know,
leave it at that.
I can't get any pain done when I'm laughing at his jokes.
So, me and Mike says, "Wait, there are games? Yeah. In fact, right now, if you go over to Wiley Games, wiley-games.com, you can get 15% off of both of these titles. There you go. Those are the games we're talking about. And there are other games. Don't get me wrong. There are plenty of other games that are a lot of fun. I've played them. I've written for them. One in particular. It doesn't say the name of the. Oh, yeah. Here, Force on Force. So, yeah, there are plenty of other games out there. Anyways, she could be a D&D monster who looks like a sexy woman who lures you into the ditch for a quickie, then reveals that she really is and gets your soul. There you go.
Sounds like the deer woman.
Meh.
No. She's got the top half of a female and the bottom legs of a deer. It's a Southern Cherokee folklore thing.
Yeah. So, but Purple Druid. I don't think we're saying that it's not part of the hobby, but there's more. So, a perfect example. My wife paints miniatures, but she also paints on canvas. To her, it's all painting. Painting on canvas isn't part of the gaming hobby, but painting miniatures that she does is part of the hobby. So it's it is a supporting factor to gaming. So there you have it.
Well, and I may have said the exact words that painting is not part of the hobby, but that's not exactly what I meant. I think you eloquently stated what I meant. So
yeah, me and Mike need to decide basing choices for my temple dogs. What will go well with these jade beasts? So, where are you thinking about? What type of land are they on? So, for instance, think about where you're going to find them in real life. So, for instance, when I do my 49th Armored Division miniatures, all the basing is going to be what West Germany would look like. So basically, green. It's going to be a green based stuff. My U.S. infantry, my U.S. modern infantry, modern being circa 2009, is got a desert motif. It's beige and sandy because I made them up to be 33rd Brigade Combat Team, which my brother was deployed with into Afghanistan. So, so think about where you see them in real life, and then based off of that, go with how you want to base them. Ningwai says, so you've met my ex-wife, referring to the Ditch Witch. And then Ningwaya says, I wish we lived closer. I mean you, not your wife. And then Hexy says, "Did you just use eloquent and Chris in the same sentence?" Yes, he did. So thank you. Um, and then Purple Druid says, "I think people that just paint miniatures and don't game are called collectors." But again, it's they're still in the hobby. They are painting gaming miniatures. Just because they don't game doesn't mean they're not in the hobby. Just like I know people that don't paint miniatures at all. All they do is buy painted miniatures or pay somebody to paint the miniatures. They're they're still in the hobby. Um, I know, excuse me, and then I know somebody that I know lots of people that just read rules and just create scenarios, but they're still in the hobby because it's all interconnected, and it's I look at it as a triangle. There's gameplay, there's there's rules reading creation, scenario reading and creation, and then there is the artistic aspect. There's the painting and the of the miniatures and the creation of the terrain. And when you're talking about miniature gaming, and somewhere in that triangle, you will find your point. Some people are closer to painting and gaming. Some are closer to reading the rules in gaming. Some are on the line between painting or reading the rules in gaming and not painting at all. But you're inside. You're inside that triangle.
And then you've got us solo gamers that are mostly painting and reading rules and occasionally getting a game in.
Right, right. Now, if you're talking board games, you still have that triangle. Um, we're playing games, reading the rules, scenarios, and uh, prepping, by counter clipping or print and play stuff, that type of thing. I know people that they buy a game, they open it up, they clip the counters, or they punch the counters, they clip the counters, they arrange the counters into groups, and then put the game on the shelf and never play it. So, grass would be too much green, so need to do dirt with some tufts of broadleaf vegetation. I think that'd look good.
So, do you want to do like static grass? Because this is,
yeah. Or you could go with something kind of like this.
Yeah, I kind of get that. Was it that 3-color tuft or whatever?
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
So that's what I used before I found.
This is one of my Claymore mine markers.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then yeah, so.
Maybe an octagon, get in the ring, like stone slabs with bits of dried, dead, blown leaves along the edges. That'd look cool. So. Well, guys, we've gone for 2 hours and 9 minutes. I want to thank y'all for coming and seeing me and seeing Reese. Nguyen says, I just want to live forever and play everything. There can be only one. Oh, wait. So next week, I don't know what we're going to talk about. I will give y'all an update on my progress on the different things that I'm working on. Again, my 49th Armored Division project, my ongoing work on Ocean Thunder, and my in learning how to play Carrier Battle Philippine at Sea or Philippine Sea. Yeah. Fingers crossed I'll have all of the Royal Australian Navy done for McMurray, and might even have a good start on the Canadian Navy for for Chris Long. So Scout Gremlin says good night, and Panther Shadow says thanks, Night Jay, and thanks, Reese. You are very welcome, guys. And if ever y'all have any questions or have an idea of something y'all want to talk about, let us know. We'll figure it out. So, Army Painter Woodland Tufts have enough green. Yeah, that'll work for you. Yeah, put down some dirt looking stuff and throw those on. I think you'll be good to go. So, all right, guys. Again, as always, I want to thank y'all for dropping in, and we will see you on the flip side.